Hi everybody, and welcome to video 13 in our Winter Cottage series. Now the first thing, as usual, we're going to talk just a second about the two Facebook groups that I want you to go visit. One of them is Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group, and the other one is Junk Journal Tutorials and More. Now those are the two groups that I run, and you'll find all kinds of great stuff there, videos and pictures and nice comments and encouraging comments and constructive comments, no bad comments. Then we have things that we do on Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday, so you want to check those out. And once again, it's Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group and Junk Journal Tutorials and More Facebook group. And of course, the links to everything more than just that are down below, so be sure to check that out. And leave a comment and make a like, leave a little like check there if you are enjoying this video. Okay, so we're down to the section 4. So I thought I would review really quick. This is section 1, and it's really flat, but we're going to fix that. This is section 2 that we made. This is section 3. And see, we put the buttons on the opposite side. I think I'm going to cut part of this off. And then we're on section 4 right now. Excuse my voice. Let me set these back over with the cover. In fact, here's the cover. And it's going to be like this. This one's going to go here. This one's going to go here. This one's going to go here. Oops. And then we'll put some paper here. And then section 4 is going to be way over here where you can't see section 4. Okay? So I'll take the cover and put it back over here with the little signatures. Alright, so for section 4, we're going to make our mini book that goes along with the, let me get everything here, that goes along with the rest of the book. So I first had cut them or printed them like this on both sides, and I was so proud of myself. They came out right side up, everything came out. Then I thought, well, I'll fold these in half and I'll put a cover on it and we'll be good to go with our mini book. Well, if you fold them in half, there's nothing. There's no way to make a little, well, there is a way to make a little hardcover for it. But the little book would have been so thin, it just wouldn't have been the little book that I had envisioned. So what I did was I printed it out again. Yes, I know. This time I printed them on one side. And I folded them in half. I inked them, folded them in half. Yes, that was a fun night last night. I literally fell asleep standing up because I had to stand up after a while, inking these. It was insane. Of course, I had been up 20 hours at that point. In the last 3 days, I've had about, or 3.5 days, I've had about 7 hours of sleep. So, welcome to manic mode. So anyway, enough of that. So we've got 4 sections of 6. I think there's one section that has 5. Yes, this section has 5. The reason I labeled this first section is because I wanted this to be the first page you see when you open it up. The rest of it, I just kind of made sure, I made sure they were all the right way up. And then I put a T for top and a T for top. And then I just kind of flipped through and made sure that 2 blank pages weren't next to each other. That was all I did. I didn't put them in any specific order. I did do this back the same as I did the front. And I labeled it last section. And that's because I wanted this image to be the last image in the book. Okay? Now, this is going to be the cover. We're going to use this image here and this image here. And the reason we're using this image here is because it matches the page that we're going to put it on. Okay? So, moving onwards. So we've got all that. And we're going to use the booklet. We are going to make a booklet out of it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to make an accordion book. Now, this is going to be a thick accordion book, so we're going to do it in sections. And I'm not going to make you watch me glue all of these together. Don't worry. We're going to do section 1. And if you want to, every few pages, you can make a pocket when you glue them together and then make a little tab with a card. Now, to do that, you could just take these instead of making a booklet. You could take these and make cards out of them and trim them down and slide them in, but they'd end up being very small. So I'm not going to do that for this one. I may make the pockets, but I'm not going to put the cards in. I don't know what I would use for cards, except I've got all of these printed out because I thought I was going to need more. I forgot the last section was the book. So I have all those printed out and no way to use them. I have these printed out that are printed on both sides, but the back side is upside down. So I could cut these into cards. That's a good idea, actually. So let's put we could put 2 pockets per section. That would give us 8 cards. That would be plenty. Then I would have to, I think, these tabs are big. I have one size smaller tabs, but I don't have any of them made. I think. Yeah, I forgot, and I took them apart. But I do have, I run these through the Big Shot like this, and I make 4 at a time, and I make 3 at a time. And I put them down on the cream colored paper because I don't want to have to line up a bunch of little ones. It's just crazy. Like this. To make these little ones, I'd only need 8, thank goodness. And I've got these little, I don't know what they are. They cut out little circles, and I'm really not sure what they are unless they're the equivalent of tab things that you put on that are the circle protectors, but then it's solid on the other side, so I really don't know what they do. But I kept them. So anyway, I'll make some of these, I think, would be a better size for this. So I'll have to make some tabs this size for the cards. And then we will use, oops, let me put the big ones away. You can see. Yeah. These are all the same size. They're just, some are white, some are cream. Some are the really, really big ones. Yeah, okay. And I keep the die for this in this particular box. Normally they would be in my folder. Got these nice little folders from Temu that I keep my die in. Okay, so the way we're going to glue these together. Now the reason we're not just going to do all of them is because it's going to start to angle. And it's easier to do 4 smaller ones that don't start doing that and glue those together than it is to try to glue all 24 pages together. 22 pages, that can't be right. Yeah, that's right. You can't divide 22 by 4. Right. So the first thing we're going to do, oh, let me get out my, what size do you think? 5/8 for the thumb holes. Yeah, I'm not going to do it on the first one. The reason I'm doing these first is because we want to ink the edge of the one it's going to sit on. So that it's not white. Now, I left the music ones in even though they're Christmas. So yeah. So that's what I did. Okay. And even though we're going to put the tabs in, I'm cutting the thumb holes because it's so small that, and so silly that I didn't need the thumb holes. So now I don't need the tabs. Yay. I fell asleep once and I dropped the ink dauber on one of these, so one of them has a little piece of schmutz on it. Okay, so that's that. Let's glue this section together. So we're going to glue this one to this one on all 4 sides. I should have filled this. And I'm not going to make you watch me do all of these, like I said. We're just going to do this first section. So we're going to glue it all the way around. Of course, you're going to have 1 or 2 that aren't quite the right size. I don't know about you guys, but I am not a perfect paper trimmer. So you're just going to have to work with what you've got. I forgot to put these little things on the corner so I could slide them around. and they just stuck right together. I wasn't able to move them. You see, that's why I do that on the corners. And I did go through and I used the bone folder on them. You can see these first two are out of alignment. I'll have to go back and trim. If you're going to have to go back and trim, decide what you're going to do. Are you going to line up all the bottom ones and trim the top? Or are you going to line up all the top ones and trim the bottom? That way it's easier for you. You're not going through there and hunting for any of your mistakes. Now, I'm not the greatest folder either, but once you get it all together, then it'll be fine. Now, the other reason to ink this is you know that there's no glue on that side. So you're going to glue this together. I'm just going to make your pocket smaller, but you really are going to need to move these little ones around. I mean, unless you're way better gluer than I am, which is possible, because I am not the greatest. So, I'm going to set this on here. Get this lined up. Wow, look how much bigger that one is. My ribs are really hurting. They're really screaming. That one's so big, I'm going to have to redo. I'm going to have to re-ink. I caught a little bit of this. So this is not going to be as quick as you think. Just glue, glue, glue. This one I might be able to ink and cover it up. Not really. That's so narrow. I don't think I can cut it without making it crooked. So then we're going to better put these away, huh? We're going to use thumb holes instead. Okay, I'm going to glue this one to this one. And you can see, even though I used the bone folder on them, you can see. And once you start moving them around, double check that you're doing them right side up, for goodness sakes. But you can see how it would be easy to get this spine off, off. And we're going to put lace over the edge. So if you have one or two that are a little bit off, don't, you know, freak out. Another pocket. You do want to go ahead and make them as straight as you can. Okay, so that's how we do it. Okay, first section. These two, it's not going to make any difference. So we're going to go, I'm going to go through and I'm going to make the pockets and then and glue them together. And I will see you back when I have the other 3 sections done. Okay? All right. Alrighty, now we've got our 4 sections. Okay, they're all glued together. We've got our covers, front and back. So let's glue these together and then we'll do the cover. Okay, so we'll take this section, flip it over. And I went ahead and numbered these 2 and 3, but they're not in any particular order. They just happen to be the second and third ones I put together. Now you're definitely going to want to have some slide room on this one. I found 2 that I hadn't inked. Apparently inking in your sleep is not the most efficient way to do it. And in case you're wondering, no, I don't really drive. Because I pay insurance on my car, keep my plate up, but and I only drive in the complex, like to take my garbage out and such, because of this falling asleep problem. I've fallen asleep recording these videos. You just don't know, because I edit it out. And you have to go through and make sure you didn't accidentally glue pages together. Well, I should have done that in each section, which I thought I had. Okay, so now we're going to glue this one to this one. Now, there's 2 ways to make a cover for this. And we're going to go the easy way. But you can make a cover for this that's like a regular cover. I've never done it. It involves a different type of gluing the pages together. And so I'm not really sure exactly So you see, all you have to do is line up section with section versus all those pages with all those pages together. Okay, let's go through here and double check our pages. Let's see, you can feel there's a couple that are okay. And finally we glue this section onto the first section, which is now this big. Now, one way is to make a hardcover, and well, there's a couple different ways actually, now that I think about it. You could do this where each of these sections is tucked inside of each other like a regular signature, and made an elastic cover and made a hard cover, which was my preferred way of doing it. But then I thought about it, and I thought about how heavy the cover would be and holding it inside the book. So, because this is fairly heavy, this is the equivalent of 48 pages or so. So let's check back here. Not sure exactly where we glued it together. So now this is our last page. We've got our little pockets. This seriously looks like it needs to be inked. Probably should have trimmed it when I put it together, but I missed it. I didn't see it. I glued it crooked. Well, not according to the bottom, so the page is cut crooked. Okay. Wonder if I had to trim this because it doesn't look inked. Okay, so this is our book. It's pretty decent size. And all we're going to do is put the covers on. We're going to cut these in half, or the advantage of using two different papers, we're going to cut them where we need to cut them to make them fit. So this is going to be our back cover. And we want it to cover this paper, so you see it is going to go over. And we're going to need to ink the back. Here. And you better make double sure that one of your sections is not glued in upside down. So that's why I put the little T's on there, so I would know where the top was. In case you were wondering, it's 2 a.m. Crazy. Alright, so let me cut this. We can use that as one of the cards. Let's make sure we got this correct. And you see this is a little bit farther over than half. So if we had just folded it in half and cut it, it would not have been correct. So we'll glue it on. The other good thing about this one is it's easy to put on. You don't have to worry about any images except for this text being right side up. And we have to glue it on the back. It always helps to glue the back to the back. Now I was going to use lace to hold this in, but now I'm not sure if it will hold this up. It should. Well, somehow this is a little shorter. That's why we inked everything. Just make it look like it's a border. The width is fine. So I cut it fine, but the height is off. So apparently when I cut it the first time, I cut it crooked. We're going to use, this is the cover image. Now this one seems to be tall. Actually, since it's white at the bottom, let's cut the bottom off. Looks like there's a little mark right there. Let's do that first. I did not do that ahead of time. I don't know. Okay. The width is right here. So we're going to ink it. So it took me about another half an hour to get everything glued together, straight, trimmed, or what I thought was trimmed. Put in the pockets as I went, that kind of thing. I did the same thing in each section. I did nothing, no pocket here and a pocket, and I did no pocket and a pocket, and then the end of the section, that's where I dropped the ink dauber. Trying to make it just look like one of these. Just left it on there. Okay, and then you can tell where the sections start. Right here. Because there's no pocket, pocket. No pocket, pocket. Beginning of a new section. No pocket. Pocket. You see where I'm going with this? Okay? So you're going to have to go through and count your pockets. There should be 8. 2 in each section. If you want to save paper and keep some of the pages printed out, the full-sized, you could do 4 cards and 4 cards. It would be very close to using up your page, and you would have 2 different kind of tags and you could alternate them. Okay, we'll glue this on. Of course, it doesn't want to slide. Which I'm not really sure why. There's already glue on both sides. So I'm just going to try to do the corners so I can get them to slide around. Much better. Okay, so that's our cover. Now I don't like this French, what's it? going on there. So I got this out. I pulled this text, Cottage Life. I thought that was appropriate. Then I didn't really want to just put that on there. So we're going to take a piece of our stuff and, not sure. Yeah, we're going to have to shorten it a little bit, but let's do our width. And then I'll put it this way. Cut it like that. Double check it. Yep, that looks good. I've already pre-inked everything. So we want to put this on straight. And so and this was in the full-size ephemera. I didn't reduce it or anything. It was the only one, too, that was this size. Alright, let me slide this around. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's what I thought. Alright, so the G needs to be in the center. Alright. Or as close to the center as I'm going to get it. Alright, and we're going to tape this over that. Glue this over that. Boy, I call glue everything but gluing, huh? Inking, taping. Okay. Making sure it's right side up. We're going to cover that. Put a little bit too much glue on there. Okay, so there's our little book. Now we're going to put our lace on the edge. It would be kind of cool to put this on there, wouldn't it? Because this is wide enough. The lace isn't going to be wide enough. I wonder if this would work. We can shorten it. It so would work. We can glue it down. Okay. So we need this much. Okay, then we need to cut off, let's see, we're probably going to want this much. Around. So then we're going to want to cut off that much. Because it's already glued together, all we need to do is cover it. It's about as close to straight as I'm going to get. So then we just want to glue it on. Let's double check that I cut it all right. Could have made it a smidge wider. Okay, so let's glue it on the front. I might want to let it dry before I go pulling on it. Yeah, all we need to do is cover it up. Yeah, that's another reason we want to kind of let it dry. Okay, so we've got these two pieces that we can also make into cards if we want. Probably not this one, unless we ended up cutting that whole tree off. They're gonna be small. The cards are gonna be really small. So that's why I recommend using the other paper for it. Okay, let's put some glue on here. Then we're gonna pull it across. Looks like it's gonna stick out just a little bit. Put it on crooked. Yeah, there's no way to straighten it. Okay. Well, that's going to be cool. Now, what I didn't think about is it looks like it's going to stick open. Can't really take my bone folder across this, I don't think. What if I protect it? And then that's better. Now, what we can do, let's get a piece of our lace. And let's do this like we've done the rest. Oh, I don't have another button. Let me look. There's one. A little jar of wooden buttons. So let's take this and we're going to glue it on the back. In the center. Okay. I don't feel bad about being up now. My neighbor upstairs is up, taking a shower. She gets up this early quite a bit. It's not me waking her up by recording. She told me. I asked. Okay, so we're going to put that on there. Then we're going to do the same thing we did with the others. I'm going to bring it around. And we're going to put the Velcro dot on right here. So let's cut it off here. Okay. Kind of like this anyway. Let's get the Velcro dot. And then put a little dot of glue on the dot on the white side. And then we're going to glue it to the lace first. Don't need very much to stick it. I'll let it dry for a second. Man, I cannot get my stool in the right spot. Oh, I didn't mean to glue myself to the dot. Okay, and I'll put this here. Okay. Then we're going to take our button and glue it on. And we're going to have to do it with it open. We don't want to glue this shut. Alright, so our little book is done. Let's let that dry. And now we're going to take a look at the paper. And I don't want to just make a pocket or an acetate pocket or expandable pocket because I don't want to cover this up. So what I'm going to do is this covers exactly the center. So I'm going to put lace across here. And then I'm going to put some lace going this way to hold it in. This isn't dry enough. Okay, well, I'm going to let this dry before we go doing anything else to it. I think if we measure the center, you know what we could do? We could make it out of acetate and then glue lace to it. So we could use a little bit less than 1 inch wide acetate. Drink some coffee while I'm thinking about this. And let that other dry. Oh, it's at 2 minutes. So let me think about it. We'll pick up in the next video and we'll do this. And then we'll start decorating the inside cover. And then we will decorate the outside cover. I'm not sure how much time, you know, each and everything is going to take. So we're going to give it a whirl and see what we can get done. I can't believe we got this little book all done in one video, so that's cool. And then we just do this page, and then we'll probably do the inside of the cover, the little strips to fit. Okay? All right, well, that's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next video, and that will be just a second for you and a day for me. Okay, bye-bye.